To say that the relationship with water up here is complicated is an understatement. So like 1979 was the completion of the final reservoir at the end.
Yeah,
right?
the agreements were happening in the 70s.
Yeah.
With the James Bay Cree and Quebec Hydro. And some of the people were very happy with it, some weren't, because it brought like crazy access to the land. This road goes 700 kilometers into their traditional territory and literally changed the direction of waterways on the Cree people, which had a vast effect on the caribou and the geese, which they, the James Bay Cree rely on heavily. So some people say that the caribou disappeared because of the reservoir, some people say the caribou disappeared because of the access that the road gave, and more hunting. It's been,
It's pretty obvious though that the land is totally changed.
Completely changed, yeah. Like literally rivers flowing the other direction.
It's just supposed to be a bike ride. We're just trying to find something to do in our own backyards that was going to be fun and take us away from what was happening in the world. It turned out to be something more than that. We picked the Trans Taiga Highway, which is this road, barely shows up on a map, top of the world. It was primarily built for hydroelectric projects back in the 70s, and it really has only that for use. But it turns out for us, as bike riders, that it's like this ribbon of gravel that goes from one end to the other and literally nothing in between. So this is Buck Miller, former pro road racer turned mountain man. This is Ryan Atkins. He is the most underrated athlete I think I've ever been around. I don't know what I was really thinking. Ryan and I set off together. We live near each other in Sutton, Quebec, and met Buck, who had left Ontario. And then we had, 15 more hours together to drive. And then we get to the last town that has an airport. That's when we meet our two pilots and start a 4.5-hour flight back east to the start of the Trans Taiga Road. There aren't that many photos of it. Google Earth doesn't really show what the forest looks like, but on a bike, you're going slow enough so you notice everything, but you're going fast enough that you go around the corner and it's like a whole new area. Throughout the days, we were trying to hit 100K a day or so. It was like going through different regions, even though really it was similar almost the whole way.
But Buck here got two trouts, speckies this morning, so that was pretty sweet. I got one last night. We ate them all. Tim is got 0. How you say no fish? But yeah, it's super hilly, up or down the whole way. Tons of lakes, tons of water. The surface is anywhere from decent to terrible, but yeah, we're managing. And yeah, no, great day. Thanks for tuning in.
We were able to stop and fish almost every single stream, every major river, and then some random lakes that were along the way. And so we just catch and cook and eat, catch, cook and eat. And that's just what we did throughout the day. Instead of riding every day with the destination and you gotta hammer to get there, because we were always trying to find good fishing and enough fish to eat, it ended up being a great way to break the day up. And yeah, we spent all day on the bike, but it's middle of the summer, great weather, sunshine's nice and bright, so we weren't really in a rush very much. Going east to west made it really tough because the headwind was solid. It was just always there. The road conditions changed from, kind of okay, like this is gonna be considered a normal gravel, all the way to freshly graded gravel roads that just seemed to go on forever, always at a false flat, uphill, and it was just gutting us every single climb. Oh my God, I can't. How we doing? Stop to fish. and you stop to fish, and this is what you get. Keep this net in your pocket, nice and handy, because you stop for 2 minutes and you are completely covered. It was incredibly beautiful. You know, the vistas at the top of any rise just went on forever. You know, sunrise, the sun kind of glistening off the lakes, and then sunset does the same thing. And then throughout the days, you know, you're always looking off into the woods. You're always looking in the water. There's a ton of life out there, and it's really special. It's something that I've never seen before. You can only bring so much food because you have to carry stuff to sleep in, stuff to cook with, stuff to change your clothes, like whatever it is. You know, thinking you're packing light, and then you realize that you could have brought 4 more meals, 5 more pounds of Swedish fish. We just had this state of like perpetual bonk that it's funny now, but at the time it was just wreaking havoc with us because it was affecting how we were thinking, what we were talking about. We just constantly talked about food. It was like dropping into Shackleton's, you know, disastrous winter, like right off the bat. The only civilization out there was based around the dam. It was a purpose-built road for that. When I started to hear more about it from Buck, from Ryan, we got the picture that things had changed so much. Buck was really interesting to talk to because he was trying to dig into what the reasons were for the caribou dying off. Some people blame overhunting, which is, you know, mathematically impossible. But it is really easy to understand that when their habitat has changed so much, that they can't live the way that they were. Life has changed drastically for the people who call that region home, and it's due to the hydroelectric projects, and it's due to, you know, people from outside moving in and trying to make that place their own too. So there's the push-pull. As an American, it's a pretty tough subject for us to deal with in the US. And I think for Canada, they've done a better job, you know, from the outside looking in. But for me and, you know, for the other guys, it's an opportunity to see it up close. Our simple bike ride pretty quickly turned into we're learning as much as we can about what's going on, and then, you know, trying to help with whatever we can. We were so far out there, we were safe from what was affecting everyone else in the world for just a week. And it made you forget about it. You know, the mask that we brought was kind of tucked in that pocket you just didn't use very much in your bikepacking gear. So our time together was great. Our time doing something fun, riding, fishing, but then our time kind of learning this new area, at least for me, gave me so much to build on. I felt better coming out of that than I went going in. We were all afraid, we were all unsure. And so spending that time doing this ride really kind of brought us together and I think made us stronger.
What do you got?
Oh, I got one. Look at that thing. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Dude.
What?
Bring this thing in. Oh my God. That is amazing. Who knew? Want some?
Camera guy gets some.
Nice.